Woo! Good morning. Hope you can hear me above the wind. It's typical March Madness weather, and here in growing zone 6 in Ohio, it's windy and it's cold. And the temperatures are going to fluctuate up and down, but you don't need me to be your weatherman. The usurper-in-chief and his administration are on their way, or will be on their way, to Brussels to hold a NATO meeting. And this is a very, very crucial meeting for this inept president and his administration. Kamala Harris, the blathering fool, has made a laughingstock of America once again, and she is a complete nincompoop with her word salad whatever she's trying to say. But what's scary is she's one heartbeat away from the presidency, and that just would keep me awake at night. It really would. Joe Biden is going to have to address NATO. That's a fact. He's going to have to answer questions. He can't be just walk away Joe today or tomorrow. He is going to have to answer questions to other world leaders, and he is either going to project weakness, ineptness, and a dementia-bound old man that he truly is, or he's going to have a moment of clarity and stand up and look strong. My vote is a dementia old bumbling fool that doesn't have a clue, and once he's that tired, he will just be an inept idiot, and they will see him for what he is, as what the rest of the world says. He's already scared the bejeebies out of Taiwan with his conversation of President Xi of China, and has already said he does not believe China or Taiwan to be independent nation from China. He threw them underneath the bus. China's released transcripts where he said it at least 3 times, whereas this administration has not released any transcripts, so it makes me wonder it is true, and Joe Biden does not want to have to answer questions. So when he gets over to Brussels, the hard questions which he cannot walk away from is, 1, take more Ukrainian refugees, and I'm sure he'll be slick willy about it and say, we'll just send them up through our open border. We got plenty down south, and they can make their way through that way. Number 2, they're going to say, pump more fuel to us so we don't have to rely on Russia for our energy. And then he's going to have to give an explanation why he can't do that. Why he cannot say, we're not pumping any more oil because I put a moratorium on drilling across this country. I've stopped the XL pipeline, and we are converting to Green New Deal energy, and you should too. That won't go over well. And 3, they're going to press him as to why the MiG jets are still in Poland and not in the hands of the Ukrainian pilots that are wanting them to provide air cover to take back their country. Now, he's going to be a dithering fool and say, well, climate change, you should convert to solar and wind and electric power. And they're going to say, well, we shut down our nuclear power plants on the advice of the climate change and Green New Deals. So now we don't have enough electricity. Thanks a lot, Angela Merkel. Things are going to be very interesting, and Joe Biden is either going to look really good or he's going to look really bad, and he's going to look really bad because he's an idiot, as well as this administration. If he says we are not sending more planes over there, then they are going to come back and say, well, you're committing genocide on Ukrainian civilians, and could very well break apart NATO. Could very well break up NATO, depending on how we look. They may not fall apart right now, but when eventually there will be peace, they could easily break up and say, we were useless in this crisis. If he says that would escalate the war, they're going to say, well, you're already sending drones, Stinger missiles, anti-tank missiles, and all kinds of other stuff. How much more do you want to escalate? And he's going to say, well, Vladimir Putin says if we, send fighter jets over here, he will consider that an act of war and retaliate. So we as Americans had better be very aware of what this bumbling chief is negotiating on our behalf. He's negotiating with Iran without telling us, telling Iranians, go ahead, we're going to lift the sanctions and you can do whatever you want with your nuclear program. And they've already said, plain as day, give us the money, lift the sanctions, and we are going to enrich uranium, and we are going to put it on the tip of the ballistic missiles, which we have been testing, and we are going to send one right into Israel, and quite possibly death to America through nuclear attack. But he's still negotiating with them, and he's all in favor of doing that. So this fool in chief could spark war with Russia, could spark war with Iran. He could even spark war with China if China does decide it wants to take Taiwan. And yet he's going to be on the world stage making speeches as to what the United States can and cannot do. I do not know the point of where we say we have to intercede in Ukraine, if at all. Food, medical supplies, aid, taking in refugees, yeah, I'm okay with that. Do we want to escalate to the point where we're saying they're committing genocide and we are going to stop this country? It's been our past history. We have not interfered at all or stopped any genocide. And the last time we tried that was a Black Hawk Down, and it was absolutely horrendous. We tried it in the Balkans, and we watched for 3 days while we were trying to recover a downed American pilot who was hiding in fields and ditches waiting for rescue. That was in the war with Serbia, Yugoslavia, when Chechnya and all those people, that when they broke up, not Chechnya, Czechoslovakia. When all that broke up, Yugoslavia, Croatia, we were holding our breath that that pilot, the American pilot, wouldn't be killed in front of us while enforcing a no-fly zone. We did not intercede in Rwanda. We did not intercede in Sudan. So our policy is a lot of talk, very little action. And when consequences happen, we hold our breath and say, we're not the world police. Joe Biden is an inept, doddering old fool, and tomorrow he will be on world stage where he will have to answer questions, he will have to make commitments, and he can't be walk-away Joe. Continue to prep. There will be retaliation. It could be lights out, and that's what I'm expecting. So have the supplies you need to live in the dark for a while. Start growing your own food. Start planning, and get busy. Please continue to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Get yourself right with God. Ask for forgiveness each and every day when you get up or when you go to bed. Doesn't make any difference, but continuously do it. And get yourself baptized, submerged in water, baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Greg out.